Residents in Melbourne will see an easing of restrictions from tomorrow after more than 100 days of strict lockdown. The Herald Sun says later today, Daniel Andrews will announce the lifting of the 2-hour time limit for exercise and social activities. The number of people allowed to gather outdoors will also be increased to 10, and the 5-kilometre travel bubble restriction will be broadened by 20 kilometres or to 20 kilometres. As we know, hospitality is one of the industries worst affected by COVID restrictions in Melbourne. Thousands of people are out of work. Dozens of businesses may never reopen. The industry has had enough. Business owners want to reopen now, not just for trade, but for their mental health.
Bill Perry's family has been in the pub business for over a century, but in all their years, they've never seen anything like this.
I've been a hotelier and a publican for 48 years. I wasn't prepared for what's happened in the last 6 months.
The London Tavern in the heart of Richmond is usually abuzz with activity on any given night, especially if the Tigers are playing. Now it's empty, from the sports bar to the beer garden.
Prior to the second lockdown, pubs were open for 6 weeks, and there were no cases. They are safe.
Even if restrictions ease, it'll be tough. Most of the space here will go to waste.
How many people would you usually be able to fit in here?
Well, in a normal non-COVID period, you'd be looking at 400 people. Under the restrictions we're expecting to operate under, it'll probably be a quarter of that.
Like many, the pub has done its best to adapt, adding a coffee window for passers-by.
We do pour beer normally, but now we're pouring coffees.
But that's not enough. And like many in the industry, there's anger that 1,000 people can gather unsupervised at St Kilda Beach, but not under the careful watch of a publican.
Oh, it's more than strange, it's senseless. I mean, the reality is pubs are COVID safe.
An important and almost religious Victorian holiday is right around the corner, AFL Grand Final Day.
So we obviously would love to be open. We think we can do that safely, and we think that it's a better option than people gathering in parks.
After being told 6 weeks ago they'd open on October 19, Melbourne has missed its targets. Since then, the government has been silent on the roadmap for businesses.
Engagement with the government, can I say, Patrick, zero. Zero.
With pubs and restaurants closed, Melbourne's nightlife is dead. The city has lost a piece of its soul. Now the hospitality industry is crying for the government to give it back. What's your message to Premier Daniel Andrews?
My message is simply this. For the first time in this whole pandemic, it's time to balance the business and the health disasters. There has not been one attempt to balance those two disasters in 7 months. He needs to start doing that. He needs to start doing it now.
Mr Andrews, will you listen to us?
The alternative.
How tough will it be to hear that you can't open if that is the case on Sunday?
I don't want to even think about it, Patrick. I'm hoping now that that number is 10, not 5. I don't know. I don't want to even think about it. It's a disaster. Yeah. And I'm a very positive person, but I've nearly had enough.
Patrick Murrell, Sky News, Melbourne.